In this video, I'm going to explain why it is my belief that if you're a fisherman, and it doesn't matter if you have a boat or if you just fish from shore, whatever it is, if you fish, I think that you should start a business. So I'm going to go over the benefits to it, some reasons why you might not want to do it, and kind of my overall take on the whole subject. I just want to say, first of all, though, before we get into it, that this is not legal advice. I'm not like an accountant or anything like that. I'm just sharing my own experience and some things that I've done. So with that said, let's get into it. Okay, so I'm going to paint you a picture real quick. This is you, okay? You are kind of sad because you can't fish to make money. Now, maybe you just enjoy fishing. Let's put a little fishing rod in your hand with a little bend in it and the water and I don't know, maybe some line going down to a bobber. Okay, so you like to fish, but you're not making any money, so you have to have a 9-to-5 job. Okay, this is probably most fishermen. It's not the end of the world. If you like your 9-to-5 job and stuff, that's fine. But in this video, I'm going to explain to you why even if you love your 9-to-5 job, then it's probably still a good idea to start a fishing business. And especially if you hate your 9-to-5 job and wish you could get out, then there's no reason that you shouldn't start a fishing business. So let me show you now what exactly I mean and like what some pros and cons are and maybe some things like that. So let's just go back to like the old-fashioned pros and cons list. Pros, cons. Well, let's first think of some cons. What would be some cons? Like, I'm trying to paint a picture of you out there right now. You like fishing. Maybe you're around my age. Maybe you're a little bit older in your 30s or 40s or something like that. And you like fishing, but you still have your 9-to-5 and stuff. So, all right, well, actually, let's do pros first. So pro, if you start a fishing charter business, would be probably one of the biggest ones, honestly. Write-offs. Tax write-offs, all right? Which I really don't want to get too in-depth about that because, like I said, I'm not an accountant or anything like that, but it's definitely a pro to have some tax write-offs because then you can write business expenses off and it counts, it can help you with get your 9-to-5 income, taxable income down, things like that. So tax write-offs, definitely a pro. All right, what's another pro? Make money from hobby. Make money from hobby. All right, anyways, I can't even fit all that in there. So, okay, make money from hobby. That's pretty cool. And what's another pro? Honestly, I'm gonna just say you get to live the dream. Live your dream. Live your dream. So, and the reason I say that is because like a lot of people, they just think like, oh wow, you get to fish to make money. Like that just seems like doing what you love, getting paid to do what you love is like the dream for most people, whether that's fishing, which I'm gonna assume it is for you because you're watching this video. But if you just love crocheting and you get paid to crochet, then that would be living that dream. So that's what that is. And there's lots more pros, but probably the biggest three is number one, tax write-offs. Number two, you're making money from your passion. Number three, you get to live your dream so that when you get older and look back, you don't get to say like, oh man, I wish I would have done that. You get to actually do it. Even if you don't do it forever, you get to say that you actually did do it. A lot of grammatical sense there. But let's look at some cons. And I'm gonna say probably the biggest con, and I can tell you because I've been here, is burnout. You can get burned out and lose passion for fishing. Like when you're forced to be out on the water and take people out and things like that, you get into this place where all of a sudden, even if you're like, oh man, I'm not really feeling it today, well, you have to, you've committed to it. And at least me with my personality, when I have to do things, I kind of get tired of it. So when you put yourself in the spot, you have to be to the dock at a certain time, stay out on the water for a certain amount of time. You can't just go out and be like, oh, you know what? I want to stay out for 5 more hours today. Or, oh, you know what? I want to come in 2 hours early. No, you can't do that because you've made commitments to people. So that's a con, is that you could burn yourself out for it. Another con, I'm just going to abbreviate it here, but expectations, okay? Because now all of a sudden when people are paying you money, like, you better be putting them on fish and giving your 100% effort, which I'll do a little arrow up. Increased effort. Okay? Because now you can't just be sitting back in the chair and, casting out, drinking your pop and just kind of watching some TikTok while you're waiting for a bite. Like, it's not like that now. People have expectations. You have to be on the ball. Like, when I'm out there with a client, I'm standing up. I'm always standing. Unless I'm driving the boat, I am standing. I'm tinkering around with stuff that doesn't even need to be tinkered around with, making it look like I'm busy. Okay, I'm not going to labor on that point too much more, but that is a con because you can't just do whatever you want out there anymore. And then what would another con be? We have burnout, expectations, and increased effort. I'd really say that those are probably just the two biggest ones. There's some other ones, but I don't really want to get into them right now. So that's what we have going on right now. So we covered that this is you have your 9-to-5 job and you like fishing. Okay, I'm going to assume that that's you watching this video. Now, regardless of your situation, if you love your 9-to-5 job or if you hate it, you should still start a fishing business because, like I said, it allows you to make extra money from your passion. You get to say you live the dream, and you get some tax write-offs to, lower your taxable income from your 9-to-5. So, as if that's not convincing enough, let's go into a little bit more detail here. I'm trying to think of how I want to lay this out for you. So let's put this into perspective. So you already love fishing anyways. Okay, let's just draw you again. So this is you. You're doing what you love now. Well, your eyes are really close together. I'm sorry about that. So you're super happy now. You got your fishing rod in hand and you're showing other people how to fish and you're making money. Okay, it's a terrible drawing, but you get the point. So now that you're actually doing it, guess what? That boat that you're in, whether you had one or not, let's draw a little engine on the back even, with a terrible lower unit and a little prop. This boat is a business expense. So now you get to depreciate this boat. This fishing rod in your hand is now a business expense. You get to write this off against your income. The shirt that you're wearing that is a Huck fishing button up that you like to wear with clients, you get to write that off. The gas that is used to power your boat, you get to write that off. And then don't forget, over here at the dock, you have your vehicle that you used to tow your boat trailer. That's a little boat trailer, okay? You used your vehicle to pull the boat trailer to get it to the boat launch. Guess what that means? Write off, okay? And I'm not going to get into all the super specifics, like I said, because it's not good for me to be giving super specific tax advice. But my point is, fishing businesses are probably one of the easiest businesses. And I know because I have a few other businesses that you're able to write things off with. Because with some businesses, it's like, well, you can't really write off your vehicle. Or, well, you definitely can't write off your passion and your fishing rods and your boat and stuff like that. So you're kind of stuck to really cookie cutter business type of write-offs, and that's fine. But the amount, travel, all you have to do, you take the kids to Florida for spring break. All you have to do is go out on a fishing charter, which you can write that off because you're trying to learn skills from other fishing guides so that you can see how they interact with you as a client and see how their behavior is out on the boat so that you can apply that to your own business. And then, well, guess what? You wrote that fishing charter off. Well, you had to get down there to go on the fishing charter somehow. So what do you think the plane ticket is and the hotel room and the meals that you had to eat before the trip? You get my point. I'm going to leave it at that because I don't want to get too specific. But what I'm saying, I hope you understand. I hope this paints a picture for you. for why, if you like fishing, it doesn't matter if you have a 9-to-5 job that you love, a 9-to-5 job that you hate, you get these pros versus these cons. And if you're okay with having to give a little bit of effort and, risking that there could be a potential for burnout, I'll just be honest, that's the biggest one. The effort and stuff, that's not a big of a deal, but you have to be okay with like, oh man, there's a possibility that I could lose my passion a little bit for fishing. If you're okay with that, for all of these pros, all of these things, the tax write-offs, the making money, living your dream, then there's literally no reason that you shouldn't go for it. And I don't want this to seem like I'm pushing this on you for some like self-serving reason. I really am being honest here, saying that like from my experience, I think this is the best route if you like fishing. But with that said, if you want to go do your own thing, that is fine. No pressure at all for me. Figure it all out on your own. I'm just saying, if you want help getting started, I have a program called Captain Skool where I show people how to start and grow their own fishing charter businesses. Everything from creating your offer, getting leads, the sales process, delivery, how you actually, what do you do when you take people out on a boat, management, save yourself time. Like I can even, give you some pointers from getting the captain's license perspective if you still need that. Like I do have a program, I do offer that. If you're at all interested, click the link in the description below. It's free to apply. We can have a phone call. If I can help you, great. If not, no hard feelings. So with that said, I really encourage you, whether you decide to work with me or not, like really have a think about this and really think, just really have this. This is the one thing you need to be thinking of, okay? The one thing. Why not? Why not? Why would you not do it? Just ask yourself that question. If you can't think of a reason, then I don't see any reason that you shouldn't. So with that said, we'll see you in the next video. Bye.